Καλησπέρα σας καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές. Welcome to our program Faces. A new face with me tonight is EIRINI. She's here to talk about her book, Gio Says No, Not a Dream. Yes? Is that okay?
Gio says no, not a dream.
Not a dream.
Yeah. And by the way, I usually say my name EIRINI because it sounds so much closer to the Greek Eirini.
Okay.
Yes.
And you write it with the E-I?
I write it just like Irene, but apparently there are two ways to say Irene. You have permission to say EIRINI, so that's what I chose.
Okay, it's good. EIRINI. EIRINI is nice, yes. It's unusual.
Yes.
EIRINI. Okay, welcome, EIRINI.
Hello.
I'm very happy to have you here and happy to find out about your book. This is your first book, yes?
Yes.
Okay. How the idea came about?
Right. I was in my ancestral island, Corfu, Kerkira, and I was in an olive grove where my father, being the son of farmers, had built a small house. I was with my own children at the time, and I had a dream. I woke up. The first chapter had sort of more or less been given to me in that dream, and then it took me a very long time to write the rest, but the first chapter just arrived and was written within 2 hours.
How long ago it was the dream?
The dream was back in 2001.
2001.
But of
about
course,
15 years ago, yeah.
A long time ago, being a mother, a young mother with children, with a job to do, with a house to run, and umpteen journeys back and forth to Greece.
So
it took
were
me a
you
long,
there
long
for
time.
holidays? Were you at, in Corfu for holidays? Having,
Yes.
Rest, yes. Okay, I mean, talking about Corfu, you born there. I'm going to travel with you back there. Give us a little bit more information about your place, the place you born, your family, and childhood.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I was born in Corfu town, and in fact I had brought some pictures, but I completely forgot to give you my USB stick. It doesn't matter.
Yes. We can show a couple if we have them later on. Yes. Okay.
My parents were both from Corfu. Although my mother's family was both from Corfu, the Kavasila, and from Skopelos, the Epifaniou. And my father was just Corfu, Skedopoulos. I grew up in a very beautiful city of, I think there must have been only 30,000 people living in Corfu when I was a child. It was the sort of place where you come out and you greet everybody. And you say, hi, how are you? You just spend all your spare time.
It was that time when
shaking hands.
Yes, it was that time when everybody was speaking to everybody else.
Yes.
And it was different times. And this is something which I don't think we can see these days in our villages. Because it's different, I mean, we have people coming from other places to stay and all this kind of thing. But those days were the best, I think.
Yes.
So you grew up there. I mean, you went to school there and all this.
Yes, I went to school in Corfu, but unfortunately, and I do consider that bad luck actually, my father was promoted. He was a teacher in the secondary school, and he was promoted when I was 9 years old, and we had to go to Athens, where he became a headmaster. And so I didn't lose my contact with Corfu because we went there every Easter, every summer. And in fact, I don't know if you remember that, Vasily, but that generation, you got very long holidays in Greece, didn't you?
They still have.
They still do.
Holidays. Yes, they do, yes.
Very good.
So, okay, so because of your father's, job, you have to travel. And you moved to Athens and stay for a few years there? Or?
My father and mother put down roots in Athens, but kept the Corfu house.
Okay.
So we kept going back
backwards and forwards.
It felt like Persephone, summer, winter sort of thing.
Okay. And then you become, I mean, you went to university and you become a teacher yourself.
Yes.
Okay. We go into that, you know, later on, but just to remind our listeners again that the book is based on a dream.
Yes.
When you were in Corfu about 15 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, that's fine. So what was the dream about? I mean, you know, this chapter.
Okay.
Yeah, but what was it about? I mean, it was something which is, you know, has a meaning, you know, in your story, or?
Yes. The dream was about being woken up in the middle of the night by a shadowy figure, and I really, at the time, I really thought that it had happened. It's like I woke up, and you know how sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night
and you think it's live, it's real, yes.
Yes, you can't move.
Yes, yes.
And it was like that. I just couldn't move, and I then saw, or thought I saw, a shadowy figure over me. And I was absolutely convinced it was a man. First of all, I thought we had been broken into, and I was terrified, but again, I couldn't move.
Yes.
Then I thought, this is my dad, it's my father.
Yeah.
And
So
of course, I then
was he there?
realized that it couldn't be my father,
Yes,
because
okay.
my father had passed on a few years earlier. And there was nobody, you know, I just got up, looked
Just a
everywhere.
figure, yeah.
Yes, just a figure. I looked everywhere and realized that that wasn't the case.
Yes.
But the whole event was related to a tremor that Corfu must have felt on that occasion, because there was an earthquake in a different part of Greece at on that night. So the opening chapter, which I wrote in the morning, is based exactly on that idea of somebody waking up and actually
be
in
in a
this
different,
case,
you know, situations
Yes.
and all this world, yes. Okay, that's fine. We go to the book later on, but coming here when in England?
I came here in the 70s.
70s.
And I studied here, actually. I did English literature.
Okay.
And met my husband here. And
Can you
put
get
down
married
roots.
and
Yes.
have a couple of kids? How many
Yes.
kids do you have? 2.
I have 2.
How old are they?
They're 20 and 25. But yeah, that's how old they are.
Are they, you know, familiar with the Greek life and all this?
Yes, yes, because we go to Greece,
very often.
quite a lot.
They speak Greek as well and all this, yes?
I wouldn't say they speak fluent Greek.
But
I have failed because it's difficult if you have a husband who is English. It would be a lot easier if my husband was Greek as well.
I know.
But yes, they do understand it and they do speak it, but unfortunately they don't write it.
Okay, so it took you, I mean, you wrote the first chapter about 15 years ago, yes? And then what's happened? You start writing when you were, you know, in the situation, I mean, because it's a fantasy, yes?
Yes.
How you expand the story? What's happened? And why 15 years, for example?
Well, as I said, it was not about writing the first chapter, it was about writing a novel. Writing a novel is something that you learn to do, it's a craft. So I had to learn to write.
So you went to a special course on this kind of thing, yeah.
I had to learn to write with a good plot and lots of clues and things happening for a reason. You know, it's an art. It's not something that you can just do, I don't think.
Yes.
So yes, I did do a lot.
Do you write your chapters and then leave them for a bit, read them again and add more to it? Or how you write?
Yes, I write a first draft and then I polish. I also think it's very important to have a writing buddy and to share
your
chapters.
views, your experience, and get their opinions.
Yes.
This is important, I think.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I also think that if you're a serious writer, you need to read as much as possible. So I wanted to read in my genre, which is fantasy fiction. So I was very lucky, of course, because the children were of the right age when this was being born.
Okay.
And they were, they read a lot of fantasy fiction. So I used to nick all their books.
So you finished the book how long ago?
Well, I finished it around 2010, and then I actually had Random House very interested in it. They wrote to me extensively about it. They took it quite seriously, and that was such a disappointment because in the end their marketing department, and I have got that in writing, they said that, with Philip Pullman and Stroud and Paolini and various other, and Pratchett actually was mentioned in that letter as well. With those 4 writers, they were putting all their marketing money in that.
There's no space for new writers. Okay, and you publish it about how long ago?
It was published 3 months ago.
3 months ago,
yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's fine.
It was published by Etica Press, a very, very small publisher. And so
what's happening now? I mean, you managed to, find ways to, promote it, and
yes.
Do you sell any books? How you sell it, and all this kind of thing? Give us more information about it.
Well, currently, if you look at my website, which is geosaysno.com, you see that I do reading. So, like for example, on the 13th of April, I have a reading at Clapham Books in South London, and then there is something in East London, a place called the Epicenter, which organises open lectures. So I'll be there with a panel of another couple of writers talking about the writing process and how it, why do we want to write? Why does anybody want to be a writer? That sort of question. And probably we'll get an audience of people who are interested in writing.
Okay.
And yes, you get to sell books because you do presentations. I do readings in schools as well, and I talk about folk roots. And I do some Greek storytelling, among other things. So, yeah. And friends, of course. Friends themselves promote it,
Okay. In a few words, give us, a little bit information about the plot, what's happening and all this kind of thing. And then you can read just a couple of few lines. Okay.
So what happens in this book is that Geo is woken up by the shadow figure I was telling you about.
Okay.
And he thinks it's his dad. Indeed, it is his dad in this book. And then he goes, in fact, there is an earthquake. There is a real earthquake. So he loses everything. And he has to go and find his father, even though everybody tells him that it's a very, very dangerous journey, a very dangerous quest.
Yes.
He makes friends with a very feisty and very intuitive and very special girl called Diamond Heart, or Diam.
Diamond Heart.
And they...
in Greek, we say χρυσή καρδιά.
Χρυσή καρδιά.
Not diamond.
Όχι διαμαντένια. Καλύτερα η χρυσή.
Okay.
So he goes off and he really needs to find his father. That's the quest of the book.
Okay.
I can't tell you the end because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
But the important thing is that he goes into it's got a parallel world. It's a story. It's an adventure which is told both in reality and in fantasy. And this fantasy is inspired by the Olympian myths of the demigod.
Okay, and the reader, I suppose, she can find some information about Corfu and generally Greece.
Yes.
Yes, which is important.
Yes.
For someone who is able to read it. So where can we find it? I mean, to buy. Let's say, for example, our audience, they want to buy the book, how they can get it, where they can buy it?
Okay. The quickest way is to go to my website, which is geosaysno.com,
Okay.
and that links to Amazon.
And they can
you can also read
buy
the
from
reviews. There is a button, read reviews. If it appeals to you, order it. That's the easiest way. Or you
Yes.
can go to Amazon, just put in Geo Says No, Not a Dream, I Rosenfeld, and then the same thing will turn up.
And what is the cost through Amazon?
I think it retails at $8.99, but you can get it for less than that. There
Yes.
are various copies that you can have for less than that.
Okay, and it's for young, people up to what age?
It's I'd say 10 to 15. Some 8-year-olds have apparently read it, but I wouldn't personally read it to an 8-year-old.
Yes.
I think 10 to 15, 16. And adults who, like me, like authors like J.K. Rowling or Ursula Le Guin or Philip Pullman. So Harry Potter it has been actually likened by a child to Harry Potter. I don't think it's like Harry Potter, but she liked it so much. She said, "Oh, it's as good as Harry Potter." So I said, "Okay."
Okay, in this case, shall we say a few words in Greek?
Yes.
Μπορούμε να πούμε λίγο έτσι στα ελληνικά.
Και βέβαια.
Ναι, καταρχήν να πούμε ότι είσαι από την Κέρκυρα,
Ναι.
γεννημένη στην Κέρκυρα, μεγάλωσες εκεί, μετακόμισες στην Αθήνα, γιατί ο πατέρας σου ήταν ακαδημιακός.
Ναι.
Και μετά σπούδασες στην Αγγλία, είσαι καθηγήτρια και αποφάσισες να γράψεις αυτό το βιβλίο, το οποίο είναι βασισμένο πάνω σε ένα όνειρο που είδες πριν από 15 χρόνια.
Ναι.
Okay. Give us a little bit more information in Greek. Πες μας λίγα πιο πολλά στα ελληνικά. Ναι.
Θα πω κάτι για το συγγραφέα τότε. Θα πω ότι εγώ είχα μία αδελφή που ήταν 13-14 χρόνια πιο μεγάλη μου, μεγάλη διαφορά δηλαδή. Οπότε γεννήθηκα και μεγάλωσα σαν μοναχοπέδι.
Μάλιστα.
Επειδή ήμουνα σε ένα ελαιόνα, σαν παιδί, και περιτριγύριζα, όπως ο Ντάρελ, που τώρα έχουν βγάλει και ένα φιλμ γι' αυτό, φανταζόμουν ιστορίες από 6 χρονών. Και μετά όταν πήγα στο πανεπιστήμιο, και διάβαζα κιόλας, είχα διαβάσει πολλά βιβλία. Μετά όταν πήγα στο πανεπιστήμιο να σπουδάσω, συνάντησα κάτι πολύ ενδιαφέροντα παιδιά που γράφανε ποίηση, μικρές ιστορίες, μυθιστορήματα, τα πάντα όλα. Και αυτό ήταν ένα ερέθισμα πολύ σπουδαίο για μένα και επομένως άρχισα κι εγώ να γράφω.
Από τότε.
Από τότε.
Έγραφες στα ελληνικά δηλαδή.
Έχω γράψει και στα δύο, και στα ελληνικά και στα αγγλικά. Σιγά σιγά, σταδιακά, η γλώσσα η δική μου, τουλάχιστον επειδή έζησα εδώ, σπούδασα εδώ, δίδαξα εδώ, είναι η αγγλική. Αλλά τα ελληνικά δεν τα έχω ξεχάσει ποτέ και ακόμα μου αρέσει να μιλάω και
όμως
να τα
το μόνο βιβλίο που έχει γράψει στα αγγλικά είναι αυτό.
Ναι,
έχεις όμως γράψει και ιστορίες και ποίηματα, γράψεις και ποίηση. Στα ελληνικά και αγγλικά, in both.
Ναι.
Ωραία. Έχεις κάνει και άλλες εκδόσεις εκτός από αυτό το βιβλίο, σε διαφορετικό, ας πούμε, τέλος πάντων, μήκος, πλάτος.
Έχουν δημοσιευτεί κάποια ποίηματα, αλλά περισσότερο σε αγγλικά literary magazines.
Μάλιστα, ναι.
Λογοτεχνικά περιοδικά, όπως το London Magazine, για παράδειγμα. Όταν ήμουν, 25-35 χρονών, τότε έγραφα ποίηση, έγραψα και μερικά τραγούδια. Ήταν και ένα διάστημα που...
Τα οποία τραγούδια
έχουν τραγουδηθεί, αλλά δεν έχουν... Δηλαδή, ήταν μια ερασιτεχνική band. Και απλώς τους άρεσε ότι έγραφα εγώ τα lyrics. Δεν είναι τίποτα το φημισμένο.
Η πρώτη σου, αν θυμάσαι, η πρώτη σου επαφή με το γράψιμο, πότε ήταν, πριν πόσα χρόνια, πόσων ετών ήσουν όταν είχες γράψει το πρώτο σου σύγγραμμα?
Η πρώτη μου ιστορία γράφτηκε όταν ήμουν 6 χρονών.
Έτσι.
Και ήταν για την φωνή των τζιτζικιών, που όπως οι ελιές μου φαινόταν σαν μικρό παιδί, 6 χρονών, ότι μου μιλάγανε. Νόμιζα ότι επειδή τα τζιτζίκια κάνανε τόση φασαρία, νόμιζα ότι ήταν αυτή η φωνή των δέντρων.
Τις ελιές,
και φαντάστηκα ότι λέγανε ιστορίες στα παιδιά τους τα δέντρα και επειδή μου είχε πει ο πατέρας μου, κοίτα, αυτές οι ελιές είναι κάπου 700-800 χρονών. Είναι πολύ γερασμένες. Γιατί μίλαγε έτσι ο πατέρας μου. Είναι πολύ γερασμένες οι ελιές, σαν να ήταν πρόσωπα. Και έτσι κι εγώ έγραψα μια ιστορία ότι οι ελιές λέγανε ιστορίες στα παιδιά τους και ξέρανε πάρα πολλές ιστορίες από εδώ και 800, 700, 500 χρόνια.
Την οποία δημοσίευσες αυτή την ιστορία?
Όχι,
ή απλά την έγραψες για τον εαυτό σου?
Αυτή την έγραψα στο μυαλό μου σαν παιδί, πολύ περιληπτικά.
Αυτό μου ακούγεται, βγαίνει σαν μια πολύ ενδιαφέρουσα ιστορία. Ίσως ασχοληθείς στο μέλλον και επαναφέρεις αυτή την ιστορία τώρα και την...
Αυτή θα ήταν μια ωραία ιστορία, να τη γράψουμε μαζί.
Να τη γράψουμε,
ναι.
Μαζί μας. Λοιπόν, τώρα, υπάρχουν άλλες πιθανότητες να κάνεις κάποιο διαφορετικό promotion, δηλαδή να παρουσιάσεις το βιβλίο σε κάποια, ας πούμε, πιθανή, ας πούμε, συγκέντρωση μπροστά σε ακροατές, τηλεθεατές ή ανθρώπους οι οποίοι θα είναι εκεί να το ακούσουν, να σε ακούσουν, να μιλάς το βιβλίο και να είναι προς διάθεση το βιβλίο. Παραδείγματος χάρη στην παροικία μας, οι συγγραφείς ως συνήθως κάνουν κάποιες παρουσιάσεις των δικών τους βιβλίων. Έχεις στο μυαλό σου κάτι τέτοιο? You have in mind to, introduce the book to people in the future, or what do you have in mind?
Στα ελληνικά το θέλεις ή στα αγγλικά?
Πες μου το στα ελληνικά.
Στα ελληνικά να πω, όποιος θέλει να με καλέσει με όλη μου την καρδιά.
Ναι.
Κάλεστε με και θα έρθω να σου μιλήσω και να σου μιλήσω και για τη συγγραφή και για τα πάντα όλα, ό,τι θέλεις.
Να κάνουμε κάτι, ναι. Να κάνουμε κάτι στο μέλλον. Ναι. Είναι μια ευκαιρία, εμένα με ενδιαφέρει και μ' αρέσει να βοηθούμε τους ανθρώπους οι οποίοι προέρχονται και από τη δική μας τη ράτσα να προωθούν τις δουλειές τους.
Ναι.
Και αυτό το βιβλίο, εγώ οφείλω να σου πω ότι δεν το έχω διαβάσει ολόκληρο, όμως κάθε λίγο το κόπι μου είχε δώσει, το ανοίγω, έχω και χρόνο περισσότερο εδώ, παίρνω ένα chapter και αρχίζω να διαβάζω. Μετά πετάσουμε λίγο πιο πέρα, αλλά στο τέλος θα το διαβάσω ολόκληρο.
Πολύ ωραία.
Ναι, θα κάτσω να το διαβάσω ολόκληρο.
Είναι ακριβώς. Ένα κεφάλαιο τη βραδιά να διαβάσεις, θα κοιμηθείς πιο καλά, ειλικρινά.
Ναι, ειλικρινά. Μπορεί να κοιμηθώ και να δω και εγώ κάποιο όνειρο και να αρχίσω να γράφω και εγώ. Ναι. Ωραία, λοιπόν, πρέπει να σε ευχαριστήσω. I have to say a big thank you to you for coming here today.
Εγώ σε ευχαριστώ.
Yes, and I want you to just read something. Did you find something to read for us?
I'll read the opening page, shall I?
Yeah. Actually, I want you to read what, these comments.
Okay.
If you don't mind, and then read just the first page.
Okay.
These are the comments from...
so these are readers' comments, because I showed it to some children of 13, 14 and so on. The first one said, a fast-paced, thrilling fantasy novel. I really hope it becomes very successful and you write many more. Tom, 13. Shall I read more?
13, yes.
I read it over 3 nights, really got into the action, would love to know more about the characters who live in Iska.
Okay.
15.
That's good enough. Go to the first page and just read us, read just the beginning,
And if you go to Amazon, you'll see very current reviews, post-publication.
Yeah.
Sorry, so this is chapter 1, Black Dust. On the night of the earthquake, George Clay was dreaming of a red guitar when the noise of someone creeping around in his bedroom woke him up. Who's that? He called out, convinced that somebody had broken in. Heart racing, he pushed his bedclothes aside, swung his legs off the bed and sat up. He gaped at the stream of moonlight that poured in through the glass door leading to his balcony. It was ajar, exactly as he had left it before he went to bed. He sat in the dark, trying to still his breathing, listening closely for the sound of more footfalls. There were none. Starting to calm down, he focused his attention on the noises outside. They were just the normal sounds of a Greek island night in August, the hooting of owls and the tinny voices of crickets.
Oh, that's good enough because you took me back there now, and I want to stay there. Greek summertime in August.
Yes.
I can imagine that. You know what I mean? So, yes, it's interested, very interested. Okay, thank you very much for doing that for us.
Βασίλη.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, εύχομαι να πάνε όλα καλά. And I'm sure we're going to meet again, and maybe have a time, to organize something where you can, introduce the book to, apart from what we're doing now through our program phases,
yes.
Might be in front of the live, audience.
Live audience.
You know what I mean?
As I said, με όλη μου την καρδιά, with all my heart.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Ευχαριστώ. Εύχομαι κάθε επιτυχία και με αυτό και με το νέο σου βιβλίο, γιατί είπες ότι σκοπεύεις τώρα να πας για δεύτερο βιβλίο. Και αυτό είναι based on dreams? Or...
το δεύτερο είναι ένα διαφορετικό βιβλίο, αλλά υπάρχει και δεύτερο που έχει, it is the sequel of this. Το δεύτερο που τελειώνω τώρα είναι complete standalone, completely different. Και το δεύτερο που έχει σχέση με αυτό, it is a draft. Είναι, πώς θα το πούμε, σχέδιο. Έχω σχεδιάσει δεύτερο βιβλίο γι' αυτό. Αλλά δεν θέλω να το γράψω παρά όταν μόνο βεβαιωθώ ότι υπάρχουν άνθρωποι που θα το υποστηρίξουν το πρώτο.
Ναι, οπωσδήποτε. Εύχομαι να το υποστηρίξουν, εύχομαι να βρεθούν άνθρωποι να το υποστηρίξουν και να σου δώσουν την ευκαιρία να συνεχίσεις. Thanks very much again. Αυτά, καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές. Λοιπόν, αυτό είναι το βιβλίο από μένα. Εύχομαι να είστε καλά. Χάρηκα που και σήμερα τα είπαμε στην εκπομπή μας σας. Την ερχόμενη Κυριακή την ίδια ώρα θα είμαστε και πάλι μαζί με ένα πολύ ενδιαφέρον θέμα, μια πολύ ενδιαφέρουσα, είμαι σίγουρος, παρουσία εδώ, ένα καινούργιο πρόσωπο ή πρόσωπα. Να είστε καλά. Μέχρι τότε, καλή νύχτα να έχετε.